Welcome back to TechQuest TV. My name is Kelly Lewis and I'm President and CEO of TechQuest Pennsylvania. We are having a great show. And my goal is to say great 25 times on this show because we're talking about the great state of Pennsylvania. My guest is the great Robert Philbin.
It's great to be with you, Kelly.
Bob, how are you?
Good. Good to see you again.
Hey, Bob, you've been doing some great stuff, but what do you want to talk about today?
Well, you know, Kelly, I've been involved with TechQuest now for a while and involved in a couple of committees, and I'd like to talk about you and TechQuest and some of the goals, kind of reverse stream here just a bit.
Talk about me.
Talk about you.
This show's never about me.
Well, let's, for example, you've been involved now with the Senate Government and Cost Savings Committee.
Yep.
And TechQuest, I don't know if the viewers know, submitted recommendations for about $2 billion in cost saving using various configurations of technology, IT. What's going on? That's a great move forward for the state. Appointed
to the Senate Committee, or actually Senate Commission on Government Management and Cost Savings. It's chaired by Senator Dave Argel. Senator Dalen Leach is also on the commission with a number of great corporate leaders. I mean, it's just been a fascinating commission to be on at a critical juncture in state government and the direction of the state. We met, I guess we probably met around 10 times here in our own TechQuest Cost Savings Committee. It was chaired by Michael Hund, who's an attorney over at McNeese, Wallace & Nurick. And Michael put together a nice panel, and we presented that first week in June, and really came up with $2 billion of savings that technology could now readily available or enable for cost savings at the state, and probably billions of other savings if we set up an office for continuous improvement. So yeah, thanks. That was a great win for all of our companies, because if we do this work well, the technology industry could come in and not only talk about projects that are done in other states to save money and improve government service, but get the process in place to do that on a daily basis.
And this couldn't be more current with the current budget situation going on. How does that look? Do you think it's going to be prolonged?
Definitely, I see another tough budget year, over $1 billion shortfall on the revenue side. I would guess that the expense side is going to be tight this year because they passed the budget late. It's been hard to spend all the $27 billion, so there might be some pickup there. But I anticipate another tough budget year. Certainly that's the cue that we're getting from the Capitol. And at a great time for these cost savings initiatives to come into play. Yeah. And some of these can give savings in this year's budget. And that was one thing that we worked on here at TechQuest, is what savings can be achieved right now, not wait or not have to spend money to do it. What's right, on the table.
Right, right. I know another issue of concern of yours is Pennsylvania infrastructure development. You recently, just last month, had the State Infrastructure Summit in the Convention Center in Philadelphia. How's the infrastructure situation looking right now?
Definitely TechQuest has been at the forefront of infrastructure development here in the state, because it's so important to the technology industry that we have these strong infrastructures. And sometimes we get off in our daily lives and we forget that we need, and every civilization needs, strong infrastructure. That's how you build your economy. So we need the best roads we can get. We need the best broadband connections, communication systems. We need affordable and reliable electricity. And we need safe water, clean water. I mean, nobody wants clean, water with germs and such in it. So we've been at the very forefront of organizing this. This was our 3rd annual Pennsylvania Infrastructure Summit. Maybe a boring topic to a lot of folks, but mission critical to the prosperity of this Commonwealth. Had another great round of speakers, and we're putting together the infrastructure agenda to push into the General Assembly again this year on getting some funding in the state budget and on the federal side. But I'm really excited now because it's starting to turn the corner where the technology industry is starting to see that when we get these robust infrastructures, there's going to be an IT component, information technology. So we can put sensors in all the water plants in the state so that people can get emails or text messages that they need to boil their water. Right now that's all done in writing and takes days, weeks for that to happen. when it needs to be instantaneous to protect the public. And there's technology available to do that. Intelligent highway systems, we need more broadband out in the highways, so if there's a traffic jam, residents can get emails on those alerts and they can divert themselves so that they aren't sitting in traffic. And that's a huge cost to the economy, all the traffic jams, and we can use intelligent highway systems to fix that up.
Another area you've been heavily involved in that's in the forefront of society today is healthcare. Job training, introducing advanced technology into the healthcare.
Well, healthcare, which is so important to everybody, because your health is your #1 goal, I would hope, but really focused on getting the technology inputted into the healthcare system so that all of your medical history, anything to do with your body, can get into an emergency room immediately, like electronically fast. So if you are injured and you have different medical conditions, you want that emergency room doctor and nurse to have that information at their fingertips. Right now, even though we can send emails around the world, you can get a postponement on your child's soccer match or baseball game instantaneously. The second they postpone it, you get an email. But you can't get your MRI. You can't get all the things you're allergic to into the hands of that physician. So we're excited about this. The state's starting to move on this with the Pennsylvania Health Information Exchange, and we've been right knee-deep in all the details of the new authority that's going to be created, because this is, it's a great opportunity for our industry, but it's a huge opportunity for patient safety and healthcare quality, and we want to be there. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that we need to develop as quickly as possible. And then there's, like you mentioned, there's workforce training all along there. We need to skill set people for the new jobs over the next 10 years. There will be new jobs, like who even heard of Facebook 10 years ago, or LinkedIn? And now these technologies are deploying themselves out into companies, and now there's social media companies. So another great thing of needing the skill sets to do that kind of work. So I'm excited about that. That's job creation, and you'll need people to do the training, so that's job creation for the training in and of itself.
Speaking of job creations, TechQuest and you have also been focusing on the bidding process at the state level and pushing bids out in the technology arena to make sure that Pennsylvania companies are in the forefront of what expenditures are.
We certainly want TechQuest to be the leading organization in this state that stands for and promotes open, transparent, and fair bidding. I mean, that has to happen at the state level, has to happen at all levels of government in Pennsylvania. And what that does, it creates the fair playing field, the level playing field, so that all the technology companies can come in and bid. And even if they're bidding on rock salt, it should be that way. And that makes government better. And it makes it more affordable for the taxpayer, and better projects get done. And by people watching these projects more closely, they just become better projects, and they don't waste the money, and we get better technology, and citizens win. And when TechQuest does its job well, citizens should win, and companies should get a chance to have a fair bidding process.
Kelly, you've been around politics and government and IT development for a long time now. Where do you see the future going here in the next 5 to 10 years in the Commonwealth? We're going through some rough times right now.
Rough times, but we are positioned very well. And Bob, I got to cut you short because we'll be right back.